Stop being a negative person in your own life. Stop being a negative influence in your family. Stop being a negative person in society. Stop being somebody negative in whatever roles you take on in life. And the Qur'an says to us, it says, سابقوا إلى مغفرة. سابقوا إلى مغفرة. And سابقوا means become part of the race. Become part of the competition. Become part of the struggle to advance and to reach the top. That is, don't accept a life of layback, where you lay back, where when the day begins and the day ends, you can hardly look yourself in the mirror of your own life and see your progress. Of course, if you have works, outstanding works you do, you don't even have to look in that mirror. Those works stand out. Every day, we can make it a better day than the one that went by. If we have the attitude that we are preparing to go forward. So, this verse tells us, is found in chapter 57, verse 21, سَابِقُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ. And I've explained this sometime before, but I'm going to explain it again, that maghfirah has nothing to do with you and I sitting in a room, driving in a car, flying in a plane, walking in a street and say, oh God, forgive me. It means nothing like that. Maghfirah and mighfirah, they come from the same verb, ghafira. And take this example and see if it makes sense. As children growing up, we tend to ask for forgiveness more often than when we become big. And that's a sad fact. Because we think as we grow big, we hardly do anything wrong. Or it's beyond us to apologize. Right? And when we fail to apologize, we keep instilling those dirty habits deeper and deeper in our lives. So when children make mistakes, for example, the mom says, don't eat out all of the pudding, and the child ate all the pudding. And the mother says, well, I told you not to do it. Oh mom, I'm very sorry, please forgive me. I won't do it again. So when this child is seeking maghfirah of the parents in those environments, the child is asking the mother for compassion. On the condition that that child will not repeat that act again. So maghfirah means to take the steps that would prevent one from being punished because of one's action. But in order to really make maghfirah effective, there is a next aspect of the verb that must go simultaneously. Maghfirah with mighfirah. Ask those in the Arab world who have to put on a helmet to ride, or who have to put on a helmet to drive. Mighfirah means the helmet. It refers to any protective gear that you adopt to prevent harm from taking place. To prevent accidents that happen to others, or perhaps accidents that happen to you. So, maghfirah and mighfirah, they're from the same verb and they go together. What it means? It means to really, sincerely, genuinely crave for chance and to use the chance and the opportunity to take evasive action that one does not repeat the previous action so that the results will be disastrous. So the Qur'an is telling us we should all compete for this. We should be striving in society for this. We should be striving to improve our situation. We should strive to improve the way we think, the way we react, the things we produce. Then the Qur'an tells us of another concept that is called فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. And this is popular. But there's something in khayrat that is normally not known. And that's what I'm going to share with you. Anybody who knows the Arabic or wants to study the Arabic language, go to the dictionaries or the lexicon on the kha, ya and ra, khayr, and you get the impression that khayr means good. That's true. I'm not here to tell you that khayr means bad. But there's something about khayr that you and I, who are pursuing the good, have always got to remember. And that's called ikhtiyar. And that's called what? Ikhtiyar, choice. If you don't have the capability to make choices, more than likely, the khayr will evade you. You can't continue doing the same things. You've got to make choice. You've got to have the option of choice. You've got to have the option to be able to assess your circumstances. You have to have the option to be able to evaluate your circumstances. You have to have the option to evaluate what you are doing. And something else that you're unable to do that is there before you. So khayrat, it's all manner of goodness. But all manner of goodness comes not when someone is enslaved by someone, or when someone has enslaved himself or herself, but when that someone has understood that life presents him and her with the opportunity to choose or to refuse. That is where the option of khayrat becomes. And Allah has presented that to me and you. All of us are born with the capability to choose. In nowhere this divine authority or sovereign has chained us to be what we have become if it is useless. Or He didn't force us in any way to be the good that you see in us. It is the choice we make. So please, brothers and sisters, let us all understand, we are not guinea pigs in Allah's world. Taqdeer relate to the laws that govern our physiology. And taqdeer relate to the laws that govern our environment and the ecosystem. Taqdeer does not relate to you or I or anyone else wanting to choose a better course and somehow divine sovereignty doesn't want us to do that. I leave this with myself and you, knowing fully well that you, as well as I, are intelligent human beings. We have no excuses. But if you and I want to do what the Qur'an says, become part of the Olympics of human society, سَابِقُوا إِلَى الْخَيْرَاتِ فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ, become part of the Olympics of human society, where we look for all ways and means. All ways and means. Alif, Sin and Ta in the Arabic verb means to pursue all means possible towards all manner of goodness. All manner of goodness has everything to do with the choices we make or we fail to make. Humans are empowered to make those changes. Humans are empowered to make those choices. The results, we are responsible for them. فَاسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهِ إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. My brothers and my sisters, as we journey through the Muslim communities wherever we live, there are lots of things that need to be discussed, need to be analyzed, need to be reflected upon. And one of that in a few